Hello, dear World of Warcraft friends. Soon it'll be that time again, and we'll be seeing images like this again. Patch 12.1 of Midnight will be released on Wednesday, and a week later the new raid will start, which means the next race to World First will begin as well. In this case, it means the best guilds in the world, probably Liquid and Echo, will once again compete for the race to World First title among themselves. But China is setting new standards, and this has been the case since the war within. There is prize money for the guild that takes first place in the race to World First if it comes from China. This amount continues to rise, and by now we have reached a total of 2.2 million Chinese renminbi yuan. I hate it every time I have to say this name because I absolutely don't know how to pronounce it or anything like that, but it's really a lot. That's almost 300,000 euros. And on top of that, there are more prizes for successful Race to World First Raiders, for example, the Dark Heart in gold with your own name engraved on it, and so on and so forth. So it's crazy what they're giving out there, and let's take a look at it right now. In the end, how likely is it that a Chinese guild will take the title? I would say it's relatively unlikely, so I assume the guild we're seeing here, Liquid, will win it again. Or Echo. Although you have to say in the last tiers, Chinese guilds weren't doing that badly. They start with another disadvantage, namely that they actually start a day later. So for them, the patch comes on March 13th. Instead of on the 12th like for us, and accordingly the raid for them also comes on the 20th instead of the 19th like for us. But as we can see here, in Midnight Season 1, the Hugu Heroes secured 4th place. So a Chinese guild in 4th place, there's definitely potential there, but on the other hand, they started 4 days later as Liquid. If you subtract that 1 day now, or even 2, which actually put them at a disadvantage compared to Liquid, they're actually pretty close to Method. But I think just because of that fact, no guild will make it. But here we see Jace Suck, or however you pronounce it, and Identity. 2 more Chinese guilds, so that's 3 in the top 10 overall. That's pretty solid. What would also be solid would be if you subscribe to this channel. With the new patch, we want to hit 38,000 and then the €100 giveaway will be drawn. So it's definitely worth subscribing. It's free, and if you're lucky, you might even win something. But yeah, let's take a look at what's up for grabs here. Because they're really giving out a lot. At this point, why is that possible? For us, World of Warcraft is supported by Blizzard, Chinese guilds. The game runs under NetEase there, so in the end, it's officially Blizzard as well. But foreign companies need a local partner in China, so to speak, and that's NetEase for Blizzard. And NetEase also takes care of a lot of the promotion, special events that don't exist in the rest of the world. Accordingly, when the Race to World First returned to China with War Within, a sum of 1 million, I'll just call it UN now. Sorry if I butchered it, I can't speak the language. The prize money was originally 1 million. Then the whole thing kept getting raised higher and higher. 200,000 here and there was another challenge for over 500,000 yen. If someone manages to defeat one of the big 3 guilds. So you can see that here with the first patch of Midnight, it was then at 1.6 million plus this 500,000 bonus, and now the whole thing has been raised again at this point. All in all, even Huhu Hero and JTH got 500,000 yen because they were World 2nd and World 3rd at Chimeros. And there was also a Chinese Hall of Fame, so only for guilds from China, and that's the first special feature. With Season 2, the first 50 guilds in this Hall of Fame get it, And apparently, as it sounds to me, every single player, this thing here, that's the Dark Heart, which was included in the collector's edition of World of Warcraft Midnight. In this case, the thing is gold-plated, so it's not real gold, it just looks like it. But you get the thing for free, plus this little stand where your character's name is engraved. And your guild's name. I think that's a really, really cool goodie. And I think it's a nice thing that something like this is given out to the guilds. You can see the size here, 10 cm, 10 cm, 10 cm. So about the same size as my dick. And yeah, why not? It's a pretty nice thing at this point. So that's actually pretty cool. Other than that, there are also incentives, so rewards for people who write high-quality dungeon and raid guides, as well as for reporters from the race to World First. Among other things, there are cash prizes to be won, even though no amount has been specified yet. And apparently there will be things like collector's editions for people who submit especially high-quality content and so on. I think that's a cool thing here as well. So, in my opinion, they're on the right track in China, regardless of whether they win the thing or not. But with actions like these, they're making the Race to World First a bigger and bigger event and creating a bit of excitement for the, let's call them, local athletes. I think they're making it more of an event than Blizzard themselves, who basically just let the guilds do their thing. And that's also part of it here. There will probably be, prize pools, which will be used to cover international fees so that Chinese players can more easily watch the live streams from North America and the EU. So especially since in China has its own versions of YouTube and so on, it's not always that easy. And yeah, that's where they're investing to give their guilds the biggest possible advantage or at least equal opportunities. That too. Think what you want about it, but they really want the world first title to come to China, you know? And I think that's kind of a cool thing. Other than that, we already talked about this in the video earlier this week, that 21 years of WoW are being celebrated in China. There, you can win up to 6 million yuan, that's almost 900,000 euros in total. On top of that, there's an RTX 5080 and 10 free mounts. Everyone gets the mounts, of course, only one person gets the RTX 5080. Just like the 6 million, the prizes are split among a lot of games, but still, it's cool what they're doing, and ultimately, yeah, we had a pretty funny part here. Echo and so on also commented on it. At least here we see a tweet from Scribe, who apparently was on his way to China here, and then he said, one step closer to the race to world first reward. But that only applies to local guilds. Even if Echo and Liquid were to transfer, they wouldn't get that amount. But yeah, cool story. I'm really excited for Race to World First. And there will be a daily Race to World First recap again. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss it. And with that, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Until then, take care.